It's no secret that the early 2000s had a lot of really weird weight loss focused shows, you know, like Fit to Fat to Fit, Biggest Loser. I mean, technically Super Size Me, but that guy was just an alcoholic. I mean, it's really sad, don't get me wrong, but also, how did nobody notice? Hey man, you've only been doing this test for like a week now, and your liver is decimated. Like, this is crazy. It looks like you've been an alcoholic for 20 years.
That's so weird.
Oh my god, like, what is this doing to you? There were tons of these shows when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure none of them worked. I mean, you know those like Oprah weight loss, like PSX, take this pill and you'll lose 70 pounds overnight. I'm pretty sure none of those worked because, you know, they'd lose the weight for like a week and then they'd gain it all back, and usually more like the second the show or the program is over, right? But I think I might have found the only show to actually help people lose their weight. Can Fat Teens Hunt? It's kind of an odd name, right? Like, at first you might assume the show is just taking some fat kids out to like go hunt deer for the weekend, you know, show them like where meat comes from or whatever. Just like kind of a simple, boring concept, right? Nope. They took 10 sizable British teenagers, brought them to the middle of the jungle in fucking Borneo, made them live with a tribe of headhunters. You can look that up, they are. And went, all right, yeah, let's make these fat kids run around a little. Excuse me? I'm sorry? And they framed the show like, oh, the teens will learn the importance of making their own meals, so they'll stop eating so much and being so like greedy and fat. And they won't be eating much because they're stranded in the jungle. What are we talking about? Also, they're only out in this jungle for a month. So like, how would that do anything? I mean, I say make them live out there for 10 years, you know? Really hammer it in. No, but I don't really get how this is supposed to help them long term. Like, it's not teaching them healthier habits. They're just stuck out there with very little food. They have to do this out of necessity. Like, that's not gonna help them the second they get home, you know? Anyways, this show came out in 2007 and it only has one season. I don't think it was meant to be like a multi-season. I think this was supposed to be a one-time thing, but I also don't think it would have been greenlit for a second season, so I'm not surprised. It's kind of like Bear Grylls, but what if he was fucking huge? So I thought it'd be fun if we sat down and checked out if these fat teens really can hunt. Now, the first episode is mostly introduction to the fat teens and where they're hunting. We've got these 10 British teenagers, right? Super British teenagers. Like, we got Christy, we got Terry. Terry's my favorite. She's cool. Did they put on a bed with donuts and a bunch of M&Ms to show that that feels a little messed up. Like, were they in a boardroom? Like, how do we show these people that this lady's really fat? What if we put her next to a giant plate of fucking donuts? Like she's Smaug from Lord of the Rings, that'll show them. Also, the intro to the show takes forever, and they keep using the same 6 little segments, like this lady telling Chris to fuck off.
Chris, fuck off, dickhead.
Like, I just want to get to the show, you know? The first big chunk of this episode is just bringing all the kids over to the Iban village where they're gonna live, and they kind of just roast them the whole time.
First, they must squeeze their large bulk into a tiny longboat. Built for nimble Iban, not tubby teens.
Like, damn, dude, we know they're overweight. That's why we're watching the show. You don't need to keep rubbing it in. Also, I just want to say, it's kind of crazy to see the difference between then and now, because these kids are considered, like, comically obese in 2007. Like, these are, like, everybody stare in awe at how ginormous these kids are. I feel like they're kind of average. Like, none of them look that crazy obese to me, you know? I mean, obviously, they're not fit, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, these kids are like 2 seconds away from dying, you know? Anyways, we come to these boats, you know, they have to take these boats into the jungle to get to their village, and they call them fat a little bit more.
At 22 stone, Chris needs a longboat all to himself.
And they use this to segue us into Chris's fat file. When this part came up, I was shocked. Can you imagine doing this show and they're like, all right, little piggy, pose for the fat file. Like, god damn. On top of that, the music that they play with it, I swear to god, it's meant to sound like some fat guy tapping his belly. You know what I mean? Like, that was definitely intentional, right? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Like, it's so funny. These fat files are meant to like showcase each character individually, and when they introduce all of them, it's honestly really sad and kind of jarring. The show will be like, look at these fat fatties on this small boat. They're so big, only one person fits on a boat because they're so fat, these greasy pigs. And then it'll cut to them doing their fat file, and they're like, my dad has diabetes and I fell into a deep depression because I need to overeat, and I don't want to suffer the same fate as him. Like, damn, dude. But to make it a little better, to like ease the tension a little bit, they do use that song from the Twilight baseball scene. And all I can think of now is this dude in that Twilight scene. It's
time.
Anyways, we get to see more of the Eban tribe and the place they're gonna live, and we meet their guides. We've got this nutritionist from the UK that's there to like monitor their health and make sure everything's going right. They've got a local Eban guide to kind of bridge the gap between the kids and the Eban people, and then a fucking British Royal Marines guy. I don't. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna shoot the Eban people if they get too close? Why is he here? Once they get to the Eban longhouse area, they have this big welcoming ceremony for them and like this traditional Eban ceremony. And this kind of starts off this weird side plot that the show has the entire time with the Eban people. Like half the time they'll be sitting there and they're like, they have a much healthier diet because they live in the jungle and it's what nature provides, and it's quite sophisticated actually to see how they live. And then they'll turn around and be like, these weird, strange, primitive freaks have never even seen a white person. They've never seen the people this big. Isn't that sad? Don't you feel bad for these people? Like, it's just really odd. I don't know. I thought I was here to see fat teens hunt, not the British colonization of Borneo. Like, what is happening? I will say my favorite part of the show is we'll get these like office style cutaways where like the fat kids will be walking somewhere and then it'll cut over to one of the Eban people being like, they look like orangutans. They're so fat. Damn, like everybody's hating on these kids. Anyways, this opening ceremony culminates in Terry spearing a hog, and they do show her spearing the hog like fully. There's no like blurs or cutaways or anything, which I do think fits the show. Like I have no problem with that. I think the reasoning makes a lot of sense for why they're doing this, but I'm not sure how YouTube feels about me showing that, so I'm not gonna show it. Just be warned, the show does get a little gross out. I think the show actually is pretty gross out in general. It's pretty common. I mean, they show like them killing like the pigs and the chickens and shit. I think it's really just a product of its time though. I feel like a lot of shows in the early 2000s were very like gross out, like, oh, look at how gross and splat this is, you know? I mean, the cameras they used in 2007 made everything look gross. I don't know what was wrong with those cameras, but they could zoom in on the most delicious burger you've ever seen in your life, and it looks fucking rancid on those cameras, you know? That's besides the point though. The reason I brought this up is Terry's reaction to spearing the hog kind of scares me.
I liked it, but I feel bad for liking it.
You eat bacon all the time?
Yeah,
So
but...
have you ever thought about where your bacon
That's
comes
my bacon. Let's go and eat.
Holy shit, Terry. Do not mess with this girl. I'm kind of scared, actually. Jesus.
Well, my ambition is to be a judge because I love law.
She's not gonna be a judge? Holy shit, man. Do not go to court with this lady. You get found guilty, she's gonna spear you herself, man. Now, the teens throughout the show get those fat file explanations of like why they're fat. And like I mentioned earlier, it gets pretty sad at times. Like a lot of it's about them losing a parent or them feeling lost in life and turning to food to like fill the void. I just wanted to reiterate that this show is surprisingly sad. You know, I feel like these shows usually go the route of like, oh, look at this disgusting, huge freak. Look at how greedy and evil they are. We're gonna try to fix them and turn them into good people so they're not big fat fatties anymore. And I was just kind of surprised that this show humanized them more than they usually do. Like, I'm actually kind of glad that they did that. It really felt like they made them people. Until I remembered this show is shoving these kids into the jungle and calling them big fat fatties every 5 seconds, and I remembered they're not really doing anything different, you know? The opening ceremony ends, they finally head into the longhouse, we explore the living areas for a little bit, and then we meet Danielle. Danielle's the bad bitch that don't take shit from nobody. Was that a good accent? She's one of the like super overconfident, stubborn people that they always seem to have in these shows. I swear to God, they typecast for this shit because I don't know how they always have one, but you gotta get used to her because she's not going home without a fight.
I don't like it. I can't live like it.
Oh, I'm never mind. Yeah, she actually tries to leave the first night, but they don't have a boat, so they refuse. So they're like, oh, you gotta sleep on it. And then she leaves the second episode. Like the first 5 minutes of the second episode, she's gone. And her reasoning is like, it's too hot. Or she legitimately says, I miss having a light switch in my pink walls.
Go into my bedroom and turn on the light, having a ceiling over my head, having my pink walls.
I don't know. I cannot imagine taking all the time to fly to fucking Borneo to do this like cool weight loss show, program thing, whatever, and leaving on the second day? Lady, you were there for not even 24 hours. Suck it up. Do you know how exciting this shit would be to do? Dude, they could ask me right now and I'd probably say yes, you know? Like, that'd be sick. I'd go to Borneo for a month to live in the jungle. That'd be awesome. And this is actually a pretty recurring theme with all these kids. They act like they're being held at gunpoint to be here, with the exception of, like, Terry.
Let's go and eat.
And one of the other boys. Like, everyone is constantly just sitting there like, oh, why can't I be at home playing on my GameCube? Oh, my God. Oh, this sucks. I want a chippy. Like, you signed up for this, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Next up in the fat file is Hamim. He is Muslim, and they focus on it very hard. It's kind of weird. No one else ever has moments like this, or like talking about their home life as much, or like their religion or anything, but they are constantly like zooming in on him praying and like doing all this shit. I'm just not really sure why. I don't like, they're never directly insulting him for it or anything, but you could definitely tell production was like, we can use this to make him look like the odd one out of the group, you know, because it's the only thing they ever talk about him. Well, that and how much he refuses to help in the group.
We don't understand nothing. We don't understand what you're saying to us.
We get some more exploration of their little home area and meeting the Iban people, and then they get put to work. Now, the biggest point of contention that the teens actually have throughout the entire journey is that the work is divided by the sexes, right? The men go out, they hunt, and they get the meats and shit, and then the women stay home and they do like the cooking and stuff, very traditional, like old world kind of vibes, right? I completely get the argument, don't get me wrong. I totally understand why they're upset, but it's really funny because they'll go up to the Iban people and be like, well, why can't I cut the pig? And they either don't understand what they're saying because most of them don't speak English, or they're just like, I don't know. That's just the job that we told you to do. Go do it. I'm like, I understand why they're upset, but at the same time, it's just kind of funny how these kids like just walk in and keep trying to argue with them. Feels very British of them to try to force them to change their ways the second they got there. You know what I mean? Morning arrives, and I really like this shot. They give an example of a healthy body by doing the BMI weight test stuff on this Iban teenager, who very clearly doesn't speak English, but the nutritionist lady does not care. She just keeps reading off stats to him like he should be impressed.
Your whole body, only 7% is fat. Very good. This is down.
You're only 7% fat. That's awesome. And he's just standing in the back like,
Your whole body,
yeah,
only 7% is fat. Very good.
Like, what were they expecting? Were they waiting for him to go like, by Jove, only 7%? I've got to go tell my family. Like, what were they waiting for? After this, though, the teens wake up, get ready for the day, and it's finally time for their first trek out into the forest. A group of the boys go searching for firewood to cook, while the girls go out looking for, like, bamboo and shit, right? So no hunting yet. No hunting. Maybe we'll never know if the teens can hunt. Also, Hamim falls off a cliff and almost fucking dies. Luckily, he only sprained his ankle, but goddamn, man, can you imagine? First day in the jungle, first day there, you just fall off a fucking cliff into the lake down below. Like, that would suck. Anyways, we get some more bamboo cutting, the boys get the firewood, we get some more fat people jokes, and then the boys go out again to go fishing. Holy shit! Holy shit! Show over, right? They went hunting, right? Right? No. There's still 5 more episodes, and they're all an hour long. But I will say, the ultimate question of can fat teens hunt does get answered, and that answer is yes. They actually do in every single episode. They go hunting for something, so I don't really know why they named it that. It's pretty immediately answered. I guess it was just like a segue to, hey, let's shove these fat kids in a jungle. But I don't know. I was surprised. I mean, I guess the first question has been answered. Can fat teens hunt? But the real question is now up. Can fat teens thrive? They should have named the show Can Fat Teens Thrive? That would have sold. Holy shit. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering, what about the rest of the teens, right? Now, they do slowly introduce them throughout every episode. They do everybody's fat file, except for, like, 2 of them. I swear to God, I don't know if I, like, zoned out and missed it or whatever, but I swear to God, one of the girls and one of the guys never gets introduced. They never get their fat file. Maybe they were too boring? I don't... I really don't know, but I cannot imagine doing one of these shows, doing all this, going to fucking Borneo for a month, losing all this weight, and I don't even get a fat file? I'd be so mad. Give me my goddamn fat file. Anyways, the boys actually had a pretty good fishing trip. They got a good haul, so they cut them up, they packed them up, and they head home with their glorious haul for the day. We get back, they meet up with everyone, and then the show introduces the love triangle. It's really weird side plot, but before they went to the jungle, the teens had this like weekend bonding exercise in Britain, and this dude Chris bonded with this girl Elsa, and they even shared a little kiss. But he doesn't want people knowing.
Bullshit, I didn't tell a single fucking person. Why would I want to tell if I'm fucking kissed a man? Fucking hell.
But why did I call it a love triangle? Why doesn't he want people knowing about him and Elsa, right? Well, remember Danielle? Well, turns out she's got the hots for Chris too, and he's trying to work both of them, right? Wait a minute, so it is like Twilight. No wonder they used that music. This is just like it. Except Chris doesn't really like either of them.
Why would I won't tell her I'm fucking kissed a man?
And neither of them can turn into wolves, or like they're not like vampire. Yeah, I guess it's nothing like Twilight. Never mind. Now the episode ends off with them eating their first handmade meal. You know, they gathered all of this with some Resident Evil ass music.
Now the fish has been steamed in bamboo poles. The teens are about to eat the first healthy meal they've gathered and cooked for themselves.
Jesus, man, is Nemesis around the corner? Why is it so evil? It's just fish. But after this evil ass meal, you know, some little beefs between the teens and them all going to bed, the first episode is over. Now the rest of the episodes follow this very samey formula. You know, the kids wake up, they go out to get food, somebody like passes out or some shit, they come back, one of them gets pissed. So every once in a while something surprising will happen, you know, like Danielle leaving. I mean, they went to go hunt frogs, that's pretty cool. Also, Elsa gets medically evac'd because she's dying of gallstones. That's pretty crazy, right? Overall, like 90% of this show is really boring, surprisingly. Like, I mean, after day one, it's just the same every time. It's just, we gotta go look for more fish again. Chris is fat. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God, look at all these fat people looking for fish. You know, it's just, it really is one of those shows where once you've seen one episode, you've seen every episode, you know? If for some reason you want to watch the rest of it, it's all over on Tubi. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just thought you guys would want to know. Oh, also, they keep letting this girl have cigarettes. And it's so funny because they'll like show Danielle being like, ugh, why can't I get a bloody cigarette? Come on, you guys are killing me over here. And then it'll just cut to this lady smoking a pack. And it's just, why does she get them? What is this? All in all though, the show's just pretty odd. I mean, as far as like weight loss shows go, it's definitely an interesting concept, but also it's basically just what if we made Survivor, but they were all fucking huge. And I mean, I guess it kind of worked. I think the kids lost weight. I mean, the last episode is like this big homage to all the kids and like showing all their weight loss journey. Well, the ones that made it to the end, because some of the kids did leave, but yeah, they lost weight, but they were only gone for a month. The second they get home and they're not in the jungle anymore, the most likely result is they're just gonna gain it all back. You know, they're all just gonna get usually bigger than they were before they left, you know? This happened with every weight loss show, and it's why they don't do them anymore, because none of them fucking work. Now, with that being said, I couldn't find a like, where are they now, kind of like, let's check in on them now. So I don't really know for sure. The only thing I could find was an article from 2024 talking about Terry having a child, so I'm glad she's doing well, I think. But that was, can fat teens hunt? And the answer is yes. I love looking at weird shows and shit like this, especially like these older, just like really weird shows that kind of failed. So if you like this video, let me freaking know. Let me freaking know, okay? Thank you to the Patreon. You guys are great. If you want to get your name up there and help me out a little bit, you can go check that out. But with that being said, my name is Prisk. That's Reggie. He's back there being like fat or something. And, be nice, or I'm shipping you off to Borneo, and you're gonna have to go hunt in the jungle, okay?